Hey, what's up, Pat? Hmm, it's backwards. Let me help you out. There you go. What's going on, brother? Decided to hop in here a little bit early. Do my traditional. Oh, shit. It's not an earthquake, Kevin. It's not an earthquake. I was just fucking with my computer. God, the world's turning upside down. Oh, my God. What's up, Kev? How you guys doing tonight? I just wanted to share some thoughts, but I'm not supposed to. Oh, I'm live. Started early. I'm always early. Here's the thoughts. I hear all these people talk about, no, shit hits the fan, buy silver. Even I say buy silver is platinum. I don't say it for, when shit hits the fan scenario. Here's the logic behind it. Oh, right on. Cool. You're gonna see my kitty cats. That's Ginger. Shit hits the fan scenario. Logic. This is the logic. They say 1% or less of the people in America have gold and silver. Okay, fine. That means less than 20% give a crap about it. So you're going into a scenario, first off, where 80% of people don't care about it. So what they care about, the 80% that you're going to be bartering with, cigarettes, liquor, medicines, specific food items like honey or sugar or flour or yeast, things, everyday things that can be used. People aren't going to be, in a shit hits fan scenario, given a crap about the wealth preservation. That's right off the bat. Second thing, it's like this. If it gets that bad, hi, William. If it gets that bad, there's this thing called the military. They're going to step in, declare martial law, and we're all going to be eating MREs. There ain't going to be no bartering. Food will be out there. I mean, if you're out in the country and you're not in the city, but most people are in the city, and that's going to be the scenario. What's up, John? But anyhow, that's what I wanted to say about that. And as far as the precious metals and the way they run, I found out recently, or got confirmation, platinum runs first, then gold, then silver. So, flour in the freezer is only good for 6 months unless you preserve it for longer. But platinum will run first, then gold and silver. So make your trades appropriately. Everyone leaves out platinum, but a couple months ago, maybe half a year ago, hey, what's up, Wealth of Nations? If you look at the chart on platinum, which I don't care about, it really hasn't dipped. If it dipped, it would have gone down to about 940. It's held strong at above 990, which is a new bottom from what they say. And that's a pretty healthy bottom for an upward momentum. What's up, Pablo? As far as platinum goes, I don't know if you guys watched James Anderson's SD Bullion, but last night, because I've been pushing him on platinum, he actually admitted on his show that he bought some platinum for his personal self because he looked at charts and he couldn't see what I was talking about until he looked at the 100-year chart. Because 6 months ago or so, people were talking about there's an 80-year, 100-year, and a 50-year cycle, all converging, coming to an end, and that's going to destroy the dollar. Then everything else came around to destroy the dollar. Well, I looked at that 100-year cycle, and I saw platinum. So apparently other people are more concerned with all this other crap, and they're not looking at the history. There's a 50, 80, and 100-year cycle ending. And platinum play is the 100-year cycle. And James Anderson confirmed that with his research on a video he did last night, just to let you guys know. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to silver, platinum. I don't know shit about silver, other than it's cheap. What's up, Mickey? I didn't even see you enter the room. Wealth of Nations, William, Pablo. This looks like Liberty and Finance. All the cool kids. My traditional. I say it on Ninjas all the time, so why not, right? How many of you guys are going to the Silver Symposium in Vegas? Hey, Pat, what's up, my brother? Anybody? Any takers on that one? I'm going. End of September to the 1st of October. It's like 29th, 30th, and 1st September and October. But yeah, no doubt. That's what I see, crickets. Yeah, I hear that, Kevin. Luckily, I'm a union iron worker. If they aren't going to give me the time off, I'll just quit. I'm a dick like that. Actually, I'm 55 and I don't give a crap. Friend of mine, and I don't know if you guys watch like weather channels and stuff like that. If you hear me talking about my lightning crystal box that I'm going to be doing. Because buying platinum is a lot cheaper in the long run, John. You don't go to jail. You know how hard it is to get that platinum out of them catalytic converters? It's very traceable, too, because of what you have to do to get them out. All you got to do, if you're a half-assed investigator, is look for all the equipment needed to smelt platinum, because you have to get it 3,800 degrees to get it to come out. And that's a special kind of smelter. So you just follow the paperwork, find out who bought it, the smelters, go check them out. You'll find who's taken all the catalytic converters, bust them all. So, or you could buy it. Greek food's good. I like Greek food. He's a geek. That's not Ginger, that's Harley. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the shit hit the fan scenario. And also, oh yeah, I said I was going to give away some 10th ounce silver this month, so I might as well do it right now. And I've already given you the answer. First two people that tell me the approximate melting point of hey JM of platinum. First two people that give me the melting point of platinum, if you're in America, then I'll ask you to email me the description. Hell, I don't know how to do that shit. Way off, Kevin, but nice try. You can try as often as you want, just don't get too full of shit. Pat, you got it. Need one more. That's my email. Sorry, Mickey, you're 500 low. Actually, it's 3750. Damn it. Now I gave you it away. All right, Mickey, I did say you can do two. So Mickey and Pat, my email's in the description there in the chat. Take it down because when this video goes down, I don't think it's going to show the live chat. So you won't be able to re-get that. But email me and I'll send you a 10th ounce and a 1/4 ounce silver coin. Because everyone's into fractional. Well, poor people are anyhow. You guys might like the big stuff. I can't do it. Yeah, John Beatha, it's not worth it. That's why it takes special equipment because, like I said, it's like 3765 degrees is the melting. Hey, Jake, it's the melting point of platinum. So if you're going to extract it from anything, you got to have a smelter that's going to go up to about 4,000 degrees. That's a special smelter. You can follow and track all the builders and suppliers of smelters and trace who they're selling to, and just do a safety and welfare check with a drone and find out what they're doing. And if they got a lot of catalytic converters, go bust them because they stole them. And the depth of catalytic converters is very, very high right now, actually. Yeah, that's why people don't fuck with it, platinum that much, man. It's real hard to smelt. It's more expensive because of the heat, and because of the heat and smelting. When South Africa does have power to mine it, they can't use that power to smelt it, so they got to ship it out somewhere else. Mm-hmm. One more thing about the price of platinum. On that 100-year cycle that's coming to an end, platinum should double the price or come close to double the price of gold. I don't know how or when, but historically, on the 100-year economic cycles that are out there, it does. And it hasn't for 22 years, because like in 2001. Yeah, I know you do, G. See, Jake talked with or saw and spoke with James Anderson from SD Bullion, and he messaged me telling him he was talking about platinum. And I watched the show later because I already know about it. I'm just glad that James Anderson, a big PM guy, is starting to talk about platinum and how he sees what I've been talking about. And Jake, if you could confirm, he looked at the charts for the 100-year cycle on platinum, and then he stated he bought some for his personal self after he saw those charts, because he didn't say it, but Neil's changed his mind. I enlightened him. See, that's why this is all light up here. I enlighten people. See the light? Yeah, serious money. There are Hindu hieroglyphs. I don't know what you call them, on stone and in their history. That is, hey Jim, how's it going? Is very interesting and does not correlate with Western history. That's all I'll say about that. I'll let you guys research it, maybe learn something. That'd be cool. Jim, sorry, bro. I already did the silver giveaway. Pat and Mickey won it, so you can jump them in the parking lot. Sorry, I'm eating sweet tarts. See, that's the funny thing, John. The price of platinum is not tied to catalytic converters. Because if it was in 2001, platinum was $500 and gold was $280. Catalytic converters didn't cause that. 100% correct there, Wealth of Nations. Western history totally ignores Eastern history. There's not one cohesive history. As you say, those that control the world, that's the history you're learning, for lack of a better way of stating it. It's throughout history, Roman history, Greek history. But yet, if you really research history, speaking of Greeks, Sorry, I'm eating sweet tarts, man. These things are freaking addictive. If you go back to Kashmir, true that, William, indeed. You go back to African nation of Kashmir, there was this one leader. He was, to this day, the richest man that ever lived. When he traveled, whatever city he went to experienced hyperinflation because he brought so much gold and silver with him. That's how rich this fool was. He settled in Timbuktu in Africa, and his philosophy was to teach everybody, not allow anyone to remain ignorant. And the Greeks learned all their mathematics and star charts and astrology from this civilization before them that already had it all written down. But yet, Western society says that the Greeks are the birth of our civilization. I can see that in as though the fact that the Kush dynasty, the Kush Empire in Africa, well, they're not here no more. So that could have a lot to do with it. But to not give credit to where credit is due in history, I think is a unjust or not justifiable to history or anyone who's learning it. Because when you go to college to learn history and they teach you a point of view, they don't tell you this is the perspective from this point on and only these people. And they should, because that'll allow your mind to stay open, to ask questions. And when you have an open mind enough to ask the questions, if you don't get shut down by society, you'll learn a lot. Sweet tarts are cool, John Bethy. Hey, Constitutional Snacker, how's it going, brother? I hope that is, but I don't care, Jake. I saw some information that I got from somewhere else, and I researched it. That's all I did about platinum. And then of course I keep spewing it out my mouth. It's good to see all you guys here. That is a good way to put what history is. Actually, you wouldn't be studying the study of past crimes, because the victor of any war writes history, and they're not going to put their crimes down. So you got to research the other side of the coin of history, or a different perspective, the perspective of the one who didn't win, to find out a more even-keeled truth to how things were. That's why I like coins, historic coins, because historic coins can validate or unvalidate historical documents. For instance, if one king's got his little coin with his little face on it, and it's known to be minted in some certain city and time period, history shows that he was dead 100 years before that, but they keep finding coins dated after that supposed time of death with his picture on it. You got to think again, you go back in history. Well, the way that they advertised who their leaders were was through coinage. Every time a leader changed, the coinage changed. Oh my God, just like the King of England and the Queen of England. They don't waste no time changing them coins. That's factual history. Yeah, so you always have to look at the written history and back it up with the coinage of the day to make sure they line up. Because I've been doing that, and I got a hold of this one website. And I don't like talking religious stuff, but it's made me question a lot of stuff about Islam and its relative factual basis as a religion at all. But that's what I'll leave it. I don't want to talk about it no more, because I don't want everyone getting on religious conversations. But it's all about coinage, and it tells the truer sense. It validates or invalidates history, basically. That's why I like the study of coins. Okay, Neil, what do you think about this shift into moving into multipolar? You talking about multi-reserve currency, Pablo? Because if you're talking multipolar, I know what bipolar is. I don't know what multipolar is. Oh, currency ideas. Well, the ideals part I don't like. There should be no ideas. There should only be truth, and you fabricate your own shit from learning the truth. Secondly, we're going to be fine with this reserve multiple reserve currencies. What that is doing basically is expanding the economies of different nations to continue our civilization to the next phase of our civilization, which should be a 1.0 civilization. And for that to happen, we can't be all on the same page. We all got to advance. Like India's not even close to us, but yet I can guarantee you this right now. India will be a world reserve currency because in my research, I've discovered they've done all the paperwork and they have all their T's crossed and I's dotted. And for some reason, they stopped the process to become a world reserve currency. And they're still with BRICS, even though they ordered 31 Predator drones from America, costing $4.5 billion just last week to defend their Kashmirian border against China, who built 2 airports and has 200,000 men built up on their western border, which borders India along the Kashmir area, preparing for war. Does it sound like they're going to fight America? Seriously, I mean, come on, people. Taiwan. They ain't no one that attacked Taiwan. Hey, Finding Chemo. Holy shit, a whole bunch of people jumped in here. Shangy Girl. What's up, girl? Let's see. Yeah. JM, they're fixing to be number 1 in population because most of China's population, due to their one child policy, they all killed the girl babies for 20 years and only had boy babies. And the thing about that is, no matter how much you believe or want to have a man give birth, the Chinese have proven it just doesn't happen, and their population is down to near catastrophic as far as no growth. I don't recall. I did a video on it, and I don't recall the numbers. I think they're falling like 1.2 population growth, which is close to the point of catastrophic for a society. That's one reason why I know that China is going to be DOA in a couple of years. So yeah, and India is the exact opposite. India's larger population is in 20 and below. So for the next 40 years, India's the shit. Okay, in general, history in general is a coalition of crimes, follies, and misfortunes, among which we have now and then met with a few virtues and some happy times. Thank you very much, Wealth of Nations. That is Voltaire's quote on the historical quote. Yes, Jim Tillett. I'm glad. I actually did. I have 4 video thumbnails over the past week that have the thumbnail of BRICS. If you watch them, I have a video of them beating the crap out of each other on that border. So I think it's PL17. I also, like 9 months ago, did a video on the PL17 border crossing where they're killing each other. And that's why they ordered, India ordered 31 Predator drones that can hold 16 missiles, air-to-air missiles, which means, oh, wow, they can destroy all of China's air force. No, constitutional stacker, you cannot. Chinese proved it. Yes, we do give birth to new ideas, and innovation and creativity are going to drive us into the future. So if you have a new idea, jump on it, make it happen. I am. In 2 months, you guys will be talking to me on maybe 3. You'll be talking to me on the Lightning Crystal channel. And there's going to be hundreds of thousands of views. Yeah, John. Just like North Korea and South Korea had. See, the only problem with Wealth of Nations with China's 3-child policy is they're trying to save their economy right now. And they just evicted last year 220 million families out of their houses. So those kids ain't going to live in the streets. China's DOA. They're shooting themselves in the foot every step, and people just don't see it. Here in America, we can get you free medical care that'll turn you into a girl, but I still don't think you'll be able to have a baby. Hey, Jim, China and India signed a law or a treaty back in the day about no firearms at the border. And this is true in that PL-17 border crossing. It's like at 14,000 foot. And a lot of your weapons don't work because the trigger mechanisms freeze up. But about 2 weeks ago, China somehow figured out how to make them work and took up a couple of grenade launchers and shot them at the Indian soldiers. None of my geopolitical constitutional stacker, none of my geopolitical shit gets more than 50 views. I've actually got 2 strikes by doing geopolitical, but I never get more than 50 views. That's why Ninja gave me the idea to do cats. He was being funny and said, hey, if you can't handle the truth, do a cat video. And I was like, he goes like 90% of you can't handle truth. And I looked at his numbers of subscribers at 300,000. I was like, okay, so there's 2.7 million people that watch cat videos. Let me make some fucking cat videos then. Business is business, guys. You can make money selling shit. Sell shit. Yes, they have, John. They've been fighting for quite a long time. That's why I know BRICS is DOA. Evergrande, Wealth of Nations. Most of their newest buildings that they've built within the past 3 years are already, the facades are falling off, the stairwells are falling, and that's why, and people, on top of the 220 million foreclosures they had, people stopped paying rent because of the conditions of the building and they're not getting fixed. So if China is going to be the country that leads the future, we are going to be poor and destitute. Yeah, they went straight past that demonetization for me, bro. They went straight to strike 1, strike 2. I was like, I need to make kitty cat videos. Constitutional stacker. I talked to you, Constitutional Stacker. I remember saying hello to you. I actually don't talk because I got to read chat, and it does fly. And to stay on top of it, it's a task. I'm lucky to get a hi and hello in there. William. Yeah, your cats are jealous cats. What are you talking about, Constitutional Stacker? Yes, I'm growing a garden. I actually, because I'm kind, helpful, and grateful, my neighbor on that side, I've taken care of his whole front yard and the alley, and he's allowed me to grow tomatoes on his property. So I grow tomatoes on his property and on my property. And last year I grew on their property as well, but they're having a shed built, so couldn't use the area. It's not hard to miss me. I'm the only guy in blue. Not even Ninja's Sun hardly comes on anymore. Yeah, and that's part of the Jim. That's part of their population decline. I don't recall the exact numbers, but I think their population's at a 1.2 and falling, and I think 1.4 is critical to the continuation of your society as far as being able to replace young with old as old die. And as I stated earlier, China's mass population of 1.4, 1.6 billion is in 50 and above, and India's population of 1.4 billion majorly encompasses 20, age 20 and below. So it's quite obvious that they're going to be the next big thing as far as the workforce. That, and they've already started moving industry over to India from China. No one's talking about that either. Long live coins. What's up, brother? Yeah, I try and take care of the whole block as far as the sidewalks and gutters and keeping them a straight line of sight, everything cleared off. It helps everyone feel good, and it makes my place look better. Finding Kino, my thoughts on China is they owe us trillions of dollars for unleashing a beep beep against us that I cannot talk about on YouTube, because one of my YouTube videos was a live video where I spoke about that issue and it got deleted within 30 minutes of me making that video. So I can't talk about that stuff, but they owe us a lot of money for doing biological warfare against us. That's my thoughts on China having. I hope they have the gold because they owe it to us. I honestly think that America should be run like a company, and every taxpayer citizen should be a shareholder, and we should not pay taxes. We should nationalize certain things that'll bring in massive profit and not let it go to a company, but let it go to the American people who are the shareholders from whence those resources came. But that's my opinion. As regards to human beings, the constant in our lives is truth. Yeah. Hiding from it mostly for most people. Yeah, I have let's just say that any laws that the Senate was able to pass to protect rich people from doing crazy shit that could harm or injure any American, that they supposedly have legal disclaimer not to be held accountable. One thing I can say about that is that's what brings the UCMJ, and the UCMJ doesn't follow that shit. Because if you actually, and all these, that's another thing that bothers me. All these people talk about, oh, well, it says in the Constitution, it says in the Constitution. You know what else it says in the Constitution? As soon as your government gets too far out of hand and starts taking away your civil rights and liberty, it is the military's job to step in and put that government out of power. The Constitution says that too. So let's not forget that part before we consider shit hitting the fan. Because when we consider shit hitting the fan, that's when they uphold their obligation to the Constitution of the United States of America. And that will happen. And that's why I'm not real concerned about a shit hitting the fan scenario. Because, yeah, you might want to travel. You might want to go to your farmhouse. You might want to go to your ranch. But if you're restricted in travel because there's MPs there with 50 calibers and barbed wire, you're staying where you're at. Or you're dead, So, got to be realistic. William, how dare you talk about personal responsibilities of citizens? No citizen out there, very few, probably less than 5% of citizens understand the definition of the meaning of the word responsibility. And that would be your ability to respond. So if you see something and you can do something and you walk away, you're irresponsible. John gets what I'm talking about. Long live coins. None of us are getting kickbacks, bro. None of us are. That's why I say we should change our government system up and screw votes. Because if you change the whole system up and you got people in certain district head managers, whatever you'd want to call them, if they didn't perform every quarter, they'd be replaced. You wouldn't have to wait 4 years. You do what's best for the fucking country, because the country is the business, and the business is America and our $61 trillion worth of resources that we're going to sell to some corporation so they can make mass profits so we can keep paying taxes. That's just fucking stupid, in my opinion. We should take those resources, nationalize them, healthcare, give healthcare to everybody. It shouldn't be an issue. We have a lot of, we have so much money. And then, yeah, no, we should run it like a company. Every fucking month you'd be getting $2,000-$3,000 dividend payments from the U.S. company. I still think one of the best resources, if it does go shit hits the fan and you're there to be able to take advantage of it. And even if you're not, I mean, I think if any of you guys are wealthy, buy a solar powered catamaran. It's a house on the water. How can they track you? Food all around, just drop a lure in. If we ran America like a corporation, we wouldn't have a Congress or a Senate or a president. We'd have people who got hired to do a job, and when they don't do it, they get fired. There ain't no 6-month delay and then 2 more years in the Senate for review and none of that shit. Instant, boom, gone. Next one in. Fix this crap. Yeah, or go to another country even. Long live coins. Thing is, though, solar panel boats are more stealthy than sailboats because they don't have like a 60 or 80 foot mast that shows up on radar, so you're a lot stealthier. $40K is pretty cheap there, Wealth of Nations, for a solar powered boat, sailboat. John Beethoven, the reason why no one gets fired at JP Morgan is because we have politicians, and politicians get paid by us and by JP Morgan, and JP Morgan actually pays more, so they get that off. Yeah, spell check screws me over sometimes too. They're along the coins. That's Harley. Oh, I've got this one here. Oh, come bet me. She's got her claws on me right now. Oh, did I scare you? What's that? Is people looking at you? Look at these people looking at you. I don't have a sailboat. I'm jealous. I actually don't want a sailboat. I want a solar powered boat because I don't like sailing. I like boating, but I don't like using fuel because it costs too much. Kind of screwed there, huh? Spencer sees her, huh, Jake? He's like, watch out, Harley will jump Spencer. We'll have a cat fight. And that is what I like about solar sails, because as a solar sail, all you need to know is the bowline. Because all you're going to be doing is tying off to a dock. There is no sail. There's no rigging. I actually have a redesigned version of a catamaran, solar powered catamaran, that has absolutely nothing to do with rigging or sails, and it's built or designed that way. And there's no catamaran out there, solar catamaran out there designed like that yet. Sorry, guys, smoking. Unlike Ron's basement, Chris, if you're still here, unlike Ron's basement, I am not going to step off screen to smoke. I'm going to sit in screen to smoke. Because I'm hot, kind, helpful, and grateful, which I tell everyone to do all the time. Be kind, helpful, and grateful. 3 clones were bought by the people next door for me to grow, so I'll have weed in the year. Because I got like 3 plants. I got 3 plants going. So now I've got 6 plants. They doubled my crop for me. Yeah, the Silent Solar is the name of that, John Bethy. It's Silent Solar Yachts, if you look them up. And they actually have a list of what they consider the perfect solar-powered catamaran as being able to go across from the Atlantic from one end to another without having to use your generator. And my solar-powered catamaran design meets their specifications that they made that theirs don't meet. And it gives you, what is it, like 600 square foot more living space and 400 square foot more storage space, along with the ability to change rooms. Cool shit. Once I make some money, I'm gonna take it further. I always enjoy it, Kevin. I always enjoy it. It was a large ship. Now, years ago, when they first started solar, they built a huge solar power catamaran with solar power all over it, and it went around the world. Is that the one you're talking about? It's like 180 foot long and like 60 foot wide. Had like 5 crew on board, and the whole top was nothing but solar power. It had no deck space outside up top at all. It was all covered with solar panels. By the way, this is the prototype. I like the prototype because it's got this that you can stick in here in this little round piece right here. I don't know if you can see it. That little round piece there comes out. It's the resin chamber. And you can clean the pipe with this. And this little piece right here is where you store your extra weed. So you can go on the road and it's all ready to go. And if you need to throw it, it goes quite a ways in case you have to throw it away from cops. Was it a trimaran? It was the one I'm thinking of as trimaran. It was huge, like I said, 180 foot. It's when they were testing solar, and they made it go around the world just on solar power alone. Now, Japan's got a cool technology with their hydrogen engines. I find that to be very fascinating. I don't think it's going to be that big because if anybody remembers Willie Nelson, he's been working on biodiesel for 20 years, and it's just now we've got 2 refineries right here within a couple miles of me that have shut down for making gas for cars, and they're retrofitting to make biodiesel. So it takes a while. It takes a while. And I think in the next 20 years, we're going to have so much more technology that's going to just put all that stuff to the wayside. Yeah, that's the one. Wealth of Nations, that's the one. Europe's actually working on a pretty decent sized hydrogen infrastructure, but Japan's a lot smaller and actually has more cooperation because they're not a whole bunch of countries. So I think Japan will probably beat the EU, but the European Union's working on an infrastructure of hydrogen. Okay, I've also seen a tanker ship that's got sails that are solar sails that move slightly just with the sun. And extra benefit is if they catch some wind, they might get like 1 extra knot or something like that. But there was an experimental design, and I have not seen anything on that in particular design since then. So I think it's a failed design, because I've seen since then big container ships with the side wings that come down that go back and forth as they move, and that generates power. And also with the waves moving it's at the base of the boat underwater, and the fins move like this with the waves, and that motion creates energy. I've seen that technology be deployed, or is being deployed, on large cargo vessels of the next century, I guess, or this century. The biggest ones they got is going to have that on them. Saw a documentary on it. Absolutely no comment whatsoever, because I know nothing about it, William. I know nothing about it. I do know they discovered H2 on the moon. Jeffrey Bodine, yes, they are. They just turned out, I just saw the article and the engine and a little demonstration on the hydrogen fuel, hydrogen gas hybrid engine that the Japanese are turning out. I did it like 2 days ago. I saw it. Hey, Attila. Rolls-Royce update. There is no update other than I couldn't get the list of countries that Rolls-Royce is in negotiation with to build their small modular reactors. I am almost positive, without knowing that list, South Africa's on it. And that'll change the platinum experience for next year. But it takes a while to get them going. And that's just my speculation that South Africa is the one that's going to be buying them. But they're in the one most lead and greatest one to benefit from having a permanent power source. So it's just logical sense. And they got the money, so. Well, yeah, and here's something for you guys. Do you remember, like a couple millennium ago, when we had that other president? Oh, was it Trump? And we were oil rich, and we were doing a lot of building in the North Dakota area. Well, it takes 12 to 18 months to build infrastructure to capture natural gas from shale oil deposits refining, because in the process of getting oil from shale rock, the byproduct is natural gas. And we had all that infrastructure set up, and then this new guy comes along and turns off the lights and shuts it down. Yes, Jeff Brodine, indeed. Well, that infrastructure is all in place. And I did a show. I did a video. It's got a thumbnail of the American flag with the inlay of the Constitution and the White House on the other side. And it gives a beautiful map of the shale oil reserves that are now economically feasible at the price of oil right now for America to actually work and make profit off of. And America is the most oil rich. America and Canada are the most oil rich nations on this planet. Saudi, Venezuela, that's liquid oil, and it's running out. Saudis admitted like 10 years ago they had 15 years of oil left in the ground, so they only got like 5 now. Rolls-Royce engine. The Rolls-Royce engine goes in spaceships, it goes in helicopters, it goes in jet fighters, and nice cars. Okay, I'm familiar with the ICE engine. What is that acronym for? Ion something engine? Ion something engine? It's an ion engine, right, William? Yeah, old World War II, nice too. I'm still a space mine. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, Jethro. That's exactly why they are. To diversify out of fucking oil that they have very little of into a tourist destination, an international tourist destination, bigger than Vegas. And funny enough, those islands they built, Jeff, they're sinking. Yeah, hey Jeff, you might get a kick out of this one. Research Winston Churchill quotes on what he thought of different countries. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, Jake, for real, man. If you're a millionaire, what's $5 for a gallon? You know. I was thinking of the ion engine for space travel as being a means to get up to light speed. Exactamundo, constitutional stacker, because my father, God rest his soul, when he got out of the Navy, he got out of the Navy in like 1982, 80, somewhere around there. And he went to college, some sort of automotive stuff. And one of the dudes in his class, there was a group of 5 of them. They broke down the class into 5 to build a better carburetor and whatnot. And these guys came back with a carburetor, got over 100 miles to the gallon. And like a couple weeks after that, they all just like never showed back up to class because the guy went to get a patent on it. And I guess someone bought him out. But I know for a fact, carburetors, if designed properly, especially with today's technology, a properly designed carburetor easy gets you 60, 70, 80 miles per gallon. I like nuclear. The smaller, the safer. There's more redundant safety features the smaller you go with nuclear. That's a fact. I mean, your smallest, your 5 megawatt SMR has so many redundant not built in, but redundant natural safety features. The problem with nuclear is when they supersize it, that's when you get the Chernobyls and shit. You keep it small, safe as hell. Constitutional stacker, you're right. It's all about the environment, and SMRs are the safest thing for that environment. No digging, no drilling, no killing of the green spotted pygmy frogs or anything else. The Eldenbrock, yeah. The big 4 bangers, those are pretty cool. Well, see, William, about that, it's 100% correct. Our bodies are a vehicle for our spiritual body that lives on for eternity. And to understand that, you need to know that this is just a vehicle that we're in. And and that's where they come back with reincarnation. You come back as something else. That's why they believe that. That's part of it all. It's all wrapped up. studied Buddhism for a few years. My dad bought a 1968 Buick Riviera. It came stock with a 429 4-barrel. That car also weighed like 5,000 pounds of solid steel. But man, you just lit off the brakes and it worked because it had so much freaking power. No, Constitution Stacker. According to the Buddhist, you get reincarnated into different creatures, beings, whatever. Actually, yeah, this year I was born in 1968, and I always loved the Buick Riviera. What was it? Trick to the floats on that little part of the carburetor that has the float in it. I used to turn my screwdriver around, just tap that some bitch, or if nothing else, just rebuild that part of it. Not even rebuild it, just take it apart, clean it, put it back together. Yeah, see, Jeff, they came with the big block engines in them. The Rivieras did back 60, 70 years ago. Yeah, if you could find one today, man, that engine would be awesome. I had a 67 Mustang Coupe. Nothing special about it other than the Bosch 302 engine. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you where it ended up. Never give a young man a car like that with a badass engine in the rain. Yeah, it became very, very, very good friends with an oak tree. Yep. And it was maroon and white too. My school colors. I went to Pensacola High School in Pensacola for a year and a half, and that's the school colors were maroon and white. But I tell you what, the most fun vehicle I ever had was my 1978 Ford F-150. Fucking right on, Mickey. What kind? A fastback coupe? What was my first car? I think it was a VW. I think it was a VW. Not sure. I do remember in the VW though, I had to come to a stop real fast one time. And car's going like this, and the floorboard fucking dropped and slid forward as the car stopped. And my head to the bottom of the steering wheel was about an inch away from my eyeballs. I had to get out. I was like, what the fuck? The whole floorboard hit the ground and slid forward. Yeah, that's why I think that was my first car. That's my first memory of a car, anyhow, with me driving. Yeah, like Herbie, but it wasn't. It was real. That fucking steering wheel was like right there. I was like, holy shit. Everything solid. Fucking the transmission and the U-joint, fucking all that shit. Yeah, I probably could have been killed if I was going faster and tried to stop and it kept sliding, because that steering wheel would have got me right between the eyes. I've had some messed up vehicles, but I have had a few cool ones. Yeah, those are cool. The shifts on the steering on the column, 3 speeds. The Super Beetle, I think, does that. The car, the Super Beetle, Super Beetle. No, it's not Super Beetle. It's Super B. Yeah, that's what it is. Those were 3 on the shifter. Yeah, 3 on the tree. All right, guys. It's been about an hour, and I have been told my Mustang saved my life, Mickey, one time on Highway 98 along the Gulf of Mexico, going to Gulf Shores. I was the manager of a pizza delivery place out there in Gulf Shores. And I was doing about 100 miles an hour because, I mean, it's flat, it's beach. You got Gulf of Mexico there, land, flat, and some fucking pine trees. So I was driving, and I see about a mile in front of me this guy. He's got his right turn signal on because I'm going 100. And it's like 45, so he's not going that fast. And then he makes so I get in the other lane, oncoming traffic lane, because I was going to pass him, and he makes a left with his right turn signal on. I'm going 100 miles an hour coming on this bastard. He's supposed to have made a right, and he makes a left. So I slammed on the brakes, turned the car to the right, hopefully come around him. But because there's sand on the road, I did about 13 or so 360s. Anyhow, I stopped facing the wrong direction, and it took about 5 minutes for all the sand and dust to settle. And the whole inside of my car that was black was white. And I just went home. I quit. I was like, fuck that shit, man. I quit. I ain't going to that job no more. Yeah, I hated it when it happened too, but it was fun as shit. I didn't die, so it was cool. All right, guys. Anyhow, let me get back to letting you guys go. I appreciate the heck fire out of each and every one of you. Where's she at? She's right there. Say hello. Spencer's looking at you, girl. Say hello. Say hellos. You guys have a good one. Thank you, each and every one of you, for showing up. And make sure, Pat and Mickey, to email me to get your 1/10 ounce and 1/4 ounce silver coin sent to you. You guys have a nice evening. God bless America, everyone here. Be kind, helpful, and grateful, because it's better than being a jerk. Buy some silver and some platinum. James Anderson's buying platinum, so people are catching hold on it. You can get in front of the curve. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.